Well, hi everyone. It is coming.
It's coming.
It's coming soon.
Very soon.
It's going to be here soon. It's happening.
Well,
What is it?
40 days and 40 nights of Christian music right here at the Ark Encounter. Many people experienced this. In fact, tens of thousands of people experienced this last year. It was an incredible, incredible event. And in 2022, we're expanding it and making it even bigger.
And it's going to be at the Ark Encounter in the Answers Center Auditorium, which is a beautiful auditorium.
It's
And
one of the best
also-
facilities in the world.
State of the art.
And we're adding something this year.
Yeah.
We're adding a program each week at the Creation Museum.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. In fact, it starts August 2nd and runs all the way through September the 10th. 40 days, 40 nights of Christian music at the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum. And it is the biggest names in Christian music. This guy here beside me, he's sort of big.
Well, you know, he's famous. What was your name again?
Mark Lowry.
No, he's from a group called the Hoppers. Now, that's a really creative name. Where'd you get that name from?
I think it came from Ireland. They came out of Virginia. So there's a whole slew of hoppers.
So your
over in North
surname
Carolina.
is Hoppers. Oh, okay. So we
Yes.
understand. But this is Dean Hopper. And the Hoppers, I love the Hoppers. They were here singing for last year's
Yes.
40-40.
Yes.
They'll be here again this year.
Yes, sir.
And I remember that song I was telling you earlier. One of my favorite songs I love to hear, and it's your wife that leads it,
Carries
correct?
the lead, yes.
Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And who wrote that song?
Paula Stavanovich, a great friend who's from right here in Lexington, Kentucky. She lives out in Oklahoma now. She's married and her husband's out there, but she's originally from Lexington.
Well, you know what? We also have this year, it's even more diverse than it was last year.
It is.
Because we have some famous country,
Yeah.
bluegrass. Maybe you could let people know who's coming.
This is absolutely amazing because there is no event in the world that is as big as this, and there's no event in the world that is more diverse than this. I found out that they looked here at all of the people, literally hundreds of thousands of people who come to the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum every year, and there's so many people who love country music. And so we have added some people that are known outside of the Christian world, but also have a very strong walk in their faith.
Yep.
People like Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder are going to be a part of the 40 days and 40 nights this year. Multi-Grammy winner, part of the Grand Ole Opry, but he's going to be performing live right here at the Ark Encounter. Also, Jimmy Fortune.
Wow.
Jimmy Fortune is huge, and for those of you that remember that name, he was with the Statler Brothers. And so for years, I remember whenever I was a kid, I went to see the Statler Brothers, Ken, and they were backing up Johnny Cash. And at that time, they were just amazing. And then Jimmy Fortune stepped out and had a song called Elizabeth. And it's like one of those songs that wherever he is, he sings that song and everybody knows the words to it. But he's going to be performing live right here at the Ark Encounter. And then we're also going to have the Isaacs back, a great bluegrass group that's known from country music, bluegrass music, gospel music, Christian music. They're going to be here as a part
And
of
the
this.
Easters?
Jeff and Sherry Easter are going to be here. They're
One
going
of
to.
my favorites, Jeff and Sherry Easter. I've known them so long, and I love their style. I love their hearts and what they do.
Yeah. And then Emily Ann Roberts. I know that you fell in love with Emily Ann's
Oh, yeah.
music
Yeah.
last year.
Yep.
Emily does a song, I Know Who Holds Tomorrow. And there is such a touch on her when she sings that song. You know, I've always listened to that song, and it would touch my heart, make me tear up. And then Ken, you know, you wouldn't think that he would ever cry, but I've seen him all teared up whenever Emily was singing
Well,
that
you know,
song.
my father used to sing in a quartet.
Yeah.
You know, years and years and years ago. And that was one of his favorite songs, For No Hell's Tomorrow. So that really touched me, that song, when she sang that. You know what? We're on Facebook Live here, and if people want to ask questions, they can
Sure.
about 40-40 and what's happening this year. Did you notice I turned it on before and forgot to turn my volume down and
Yeah.
interrupted you a little bit?
We could tell it was really live then.
That was all your fault because you should have told me to turn my volume down. That's what should happen.
They told you.
So I'm just looking at some of the lineup here. You know, Triumphant, Hoppers, Ricky Skaggs, and Kentucky Thunder. He's not just coming on his own. The whole band.
Live band.
And the Isaacs, Karen Peck, and New River. She's won a lot of awards too, hasn't she?
She has. Her music has taken her to the Grammys 5 times. And if you listen to gospel music radio, if you're listening to Enlighten around the world, you will hear more. You'll hear more of Karen Peck and New River than just about any artist right there.
So people often get on here and they ask, what about this group? What about, we can't have every group, right? Someone asked about Casting Crowns. Actually, they've been here, Casting Crowns. And so we for 4040,
They're a wonderful group.
they are.
Ministry. Yeah,
They're a
tremendous.
wonderful group. But it depends on people's schedules and
That's right.
who we can have. And so Jason Crabb and Brian Fear and Assurance and Martins and Primitive Quartet, Inspirations, Kingsman, and special speakers. And a lot of other artists. How many different artists this year?
So last year, we had just slightly over 100 artists. This year, not only are we expanding into the Creation Museum, we've added more artists right here at the Ark Encounter as well. More than 150 artists are going to be performing a part of 40 Days and 40 Nights. There's not another event like this anywhere.
No, I don't believe so, especially with 150 artists. That's going to be incredible.
So it really is the biggest Christian music festival of its kind in the world.
Will you be here, Ken?
Well, I'll be here. I'll be here. In fact, I'm speaking some of the days because we have special speakers that'll give an evangelistic talk. And
Yes.
actually last year, what we would believe would be real sincere commitments, we had just over 800 people who
800.
committed their lives to the Lord?
Can I share that story? I think I shared this with you privately, but I'd like to share the story about some of the things that happen on a spiritual level. Is that okay?
Sure.
So last year, we had, like Ken said, we had 800 people who publicly committed their life to following Christ. And it was just amazing. When we left here, it was like we had been at a revival. Well, the National Quartet Convention was just a few weeks later, and I remember that I went to the National Quartet Convention and I was walking around and I noticed out of the corner of my eye this couple that was standing there waiting to talk to me. And they were very patient. They waited for a good period of time and they finally got up to me and they said, "We wanted to see you because we didn't know you were going to be here." And they said, "We came to 40 Days and 40 Nights at the Ark Encounter." And they said there was a day where you gave an invitation and you asked people to come up and pray, that if they had something that was really burdening them, to come and pray. And they said that we came up and we prayed for our son. And they said he was just so far away from God, wanted nothing to do with God. And said, so we came up and we started praying for him. And we said, they said at the end of that, you looked across those people and said, "You know what? I believe that God is going to hear your prayer and he's going to answer your prayer according to his will. But you will see," they said, "you said this," and I don't remember what all I said, but they said, "I believe that we will run into you again and you'll give me a testimony of how God has answered that prayer." And so I'm there and they said, we left the Ark Encounter 2 days after that, our son got saved. And so our number continues to, decline.
And we won't know till we get to heaven how many people really
It was
impacted.
amazing.
For everyone you hear, there's often many more,
Yeah.
and we just don't get to hear about them. So if people want to find out the schedule for this year, for 4040 here at the Ark Encounter, and also the special ones we'll be doing at the Creation Museum, we actually have rebuilt our auditorium at the Creation Museum.
It's incredible.
And it's going to be like a mini answer center here. Here it's a 2,500 seat auditorium. There it's almost 1,000 seat auditorium. It's a sort of an intimate sort of auditorium, and it has an LED wall like we have here at the Answer Center, and all new sound system, and we reoriented the room, and it's going to be really spectacular. So this year we're going to use both the Ark Encounter and the Creation Museum. Tell us the website to go to for the schedule.
So you can go to 40daysofgospelmusic.com, and when you go there, you can see every artist that's going to be here, all the schedules, exactly what dates each artist will be performing. You can find out about all the places to eat while you're here, everything about it. Of course, the cost of admission and some really special packages that they have that will give you free parking, let you go to both parks. You don't want to miss this. I'll tell you, I was here 40 days, and this guy here told me, he kept saying, have you ever been to the Creation Museum? And I said, I have never had the opportunity to go there. He said, well, you got to go there. And so we came back at Christmas, and I brought my family, and we went there. And I'm telling you, the Creation Museum is incredible. If you've never been there, even if you came last year at 4040, you've got to come back, and this time go to the Creation Museum as well. It is the most amazing place. And I appreciate you. I appreciate all your work, continuing to spread the truth of the gospel and the truth of God's word.
Well, you know, God has brought a lot of people along to this ministry to enable all this to happen. In fact, we have, about 900 full-time staff, and we employ 400 or 500 or more seasonals during the summer season when it gets busy. And I know the Ark is spectacular. You can see it out the back here, and that's a live view while we're standing here, actually. And it's a windy day today, and of course the gardens aren't in bloom because we're sort of just getting towards the end of winter here, but this totally changes when all the leaves come out. And we're going to have something new here at the Ark this year too. We're going to have a carousel.
That's right.
It's being made in Italy, and that's going to be included in their ticket. But we're launching this year a couple of special passes we call bouncer tickets. And I come from Australia.
Yeah.
Kangaroos bounce, jump.
Right.
You know what I mean.
Don't have my hoppers,
Well, Disney uses that term.
okay. What day are we going to be here?
So, am I going to be here?
No, what day are we going to be here?
The Hoppers, I don't know.
Well, ask him if he doesn't know when he's going to be
Yeah,
here.
if
Why would you know?
well, if you go to the 40daysofgospelmusic.com, you can see a schedule like this, and you'll find out when the Hoppers are going to be
Hey, I
here.
know we're going to be here for the last day, the final day, the
Oh, yeah.
Hoppers and Ernie Haas Signature Sound.
Yep.
We kind of close it all out.
Oh, really?
That's the Hoppers.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, Dean belongs to the Hoppers. So,
We're not from Australia.
tell me,
either.
how many times do they let you sing?
None. No, I sing a few here and there.
Do you sing a few?
My wife
she-
carries most
she's the
of it.
famous one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I was going to say that the bouncer tickets, there's a 3-day bouncer ticket so that people can get unlimited entrance over 3 days, and it's 3 days out of a 7-day period.
Is that for both parks?
And they can go to the Ark Creation Museum back and forward and so on. And then the ultimate bouncer pass. Now, this is what I would really recommend for people. If you want to come and see a lot of these artists, make sure you book your hotel rooms early, and you want to come for maybe multiple days or weeks or whatever for the 40, then the ultimate pass is an annual pass, the ultimate bouncer, and it includes everything, entrance, parking, to Ark Encounter Creation Museum, bounce back and forward as much as you want. And so you
We're
can
going to
come
sing at the
Creation Museum.
Creation
Yeah.
Museum. I think it's right in the middle there, maybe on the 23rd or 24th. We'll be there. That's the Hoppers, Ken.
So that's the Hoppers. You're singing out the Creation Museum too. Actually, you're going to like that because it's going to be an intimate sort of setting with the 1,000-seat auditorium, and it's just going to be a beautiful auditorium. Somebody asked a question here, by the way. Question from Trey Arthur. Is seating available? Is there a posted list of what can be brought to the concert, food, drinks, etc.? Clear bags or masks rules? There's no masks in Kentucky. There's no mask mandates or anything like that. And the pandemic stuff is behind us. And so seating, because we're doing this every day, we know from last year there's some days that we basically maxed out and we fill up. But there's plenty of seating.
That's right.
Plenty of seating for people. And, we are careful what we let people bring into these parks, just like Disney.
For safety.
For safety reasons, security reasons. But we have lots of food venues here at the Ark
The
Encounter.
best food at any park that I've ever been to.
So-
If you go to their big buffet restaurant, I'm telling you right now, you'll gain 5 pounds before you ever even leave the property.
And then we have outside food venues as well. And here at the Ark, we also have an outside stage.
All right, so that has sort of set me up to be able to talk about that. Last year, we had at Noah's Village, we had the Singing News stage. We did 40 concerts out there.
many?
40.
40
40
concerts.
concerts out there.
Wow.
In 2022, we're doing 80 concerts.
How many?
80.
80.
80. That's right.
Concerts.
Yeah.
That's a lot, Dean.
Yeah.
Is that the same number in Australia as it is here?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have 2 concerts out there every day, and then the main event will happen at 4 p.m. And here's the cool thing about it, is so that you come to the park, you get off the bus here, you see that incredible Ark, you go and you walk out to the Ark, you tour that, stop by, get you some ice cream, sit down and listen to one of the concerts outdoors. Then you come up here and you listen to some teaching. There's always great teaching going on. And then after that, the main event starts at 4 p.m. in the Answer Center. And when it's over, you can stay here for dinner. They're going to keep the restaurants open that night after the concert.
And we have special programming that we do from the Ark Encounter and the Creation Museum during the mornings. And then the concert at 4 o'clock, and then you have a special guest speaker.
Yes.
And those guest speakers will include people like Johnny Hunt, Dennis Swanberg, Dr. Robert Jeffress, Pastor C.T. Townsend, Javen Ruff, Dr. Tim Hill, Ken Ham. Oh, me. I'm going to be speaking as well at some of them.
There's several others. The fact is, there are so many people who's a part of this event, you can't get all their pictures on one page. And so what we tried to do is highlight that, and we'll also rotate some people at times to change the look so that you can see it. I can guarantee you this, you can't come here over those 40 days and not find something that you like in either gospel music, contemporary Christian music, worship music, country gospel, bluegrass gospel, southern gospel, all of that taking place right here at the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum.
And this year we're doing something special on Sundays. On Sundays we're having the 4 o'clock program, but it's going to be a special praise and worship time.
Yep.
And then I will speak at a couple of those. Also, our son-in-law Bodie,
Yep.
many people know. He's a great speaker. And then Brian Osborne, who's one of our really popular speakers as well. And we'll do a special 30-minute presentation on God's Word and the Gospel. And so the Sundays are going to be a little different in that it's sort of an emphasis on praise and worship. So people who are from out of town will be able to enjoy that particular time. So there's a lot going on, 40 days and 40 nights at the Ark. This is our second year to do this. This year I think is going to be so much busier even than last year, because last year we still had the issues going on with the pandemic and buses not running from across the country and so on. But I just saw an article saying, that more and more people are going to be traveling this year and bus tours are going to increase. We've been getting a lot more calls. We've been getting calls for groups that are coming and booking in. So plan now to come August 2nd to September 10 at the Ark Encounter, and special programs at the Creation Museum. You can go to the website to find out when groups will be featured, and also
Can you show them that page there? How many artists?
there's 150 artists, right?
You can't read them, but you can see there's a page full of talent that is going to be here.
So I left my watch on, and
Do you need to leave?
no, that was
Who's calling?
one of our founders, and I'm just go away. All right, so we got rid of him.
One of our founders. Go away.
Exactly.
If you're doing a Facebook Live and they call, do you fire them immediately?
See, when you do a live streaming like this, you want it to be fun, and you want all sorts of things to happen, and that was planned actually, so that not really. Anyway, we have the
I'll get where
schedule.
I can hear you better.
We have the schedule.
Thank you.
What is your name again? This is Dean Hopper.
Dean Hopper.
He's
Dean.
of the famous Hoppers.
How you say it? Hoppa?
Hopper.
Hoppa.
The Hoppers.
You sound like you're from Virginia. They say hoppa. They don't put an ER on it.
This may surprise you when you look at him. You mightn't realize this, but he does sing. And
Drive the bus.
You sing with
Mechanic.
the Hoppers.
I'll sing with the Hoppas.
So it's a bit of everything.
My mom and dad
And you're going to be singing at the Creation Museum.
at the Creation Museum
and
with my
here-
wife and my
here-
daughter with the Hoppas.
Are they watching this now?
I think my daughter is. She's probably going to tell me
She's-
everything that I did wrong.
We all did things wrong.
Well, not as much as you, but I know that I had a lot of things that went wrong.
Hey, 40daysofgospelmusic.com.
Yes.
And of course, we have information on this on the Ark Encounter, arkencounter.com.
Yes.
And our Creation Museum site, creationmuseum.org. In March, we're launching the bouncer tickets, so keep watch for that. In March, we're going to launch that on our websites.
Tell them about the carousel.
And then the carousel, we actually have a carousel being made in Italy, and it's actually going to be included in people's ticket when they come here to the Ark Encounter. The building's already finished out there, and they're just, I noticed today as we're doing this, they're pouring the concrete in the base. We've actually, they dug this big round hole, round for some, oh, it's a carousel, that's why it's round. And the carousel will sit in there, and so people just walk on and off. You won't have to step up or anything. And some of the animals, we have them sculpted the same as what we have in the Ark Encounter. And it's going to be Ark themed, and there's going to be special artwork all the way around the carousel with the animals coming to the Ark and so on. So it's going to be unique. People are going to love it. It's going to be really, really popular. It's right over there beside our playground. We have one of the top playgrounds in America, and it's right beside our VR experience, our virtual reality experience, which is a virtual reality ride where you sit in seats, put on the virtual reality glasses.
That's incredible.
And you go back to the time of Noah, and you feel like you're having a ride because the seats move. I mean, it's as good as, better than Disney.
I brought my kids and my grandkids here, and we came here the week after Christmas, and they went out on the playground. I couldn't get them off the playground. There's rides and stuff that are on that playground that I've never seen at any park anywhere. I mean, it's like a roller coaster that you can on a swing. It is the coolest thing ever. That's really great. Virtual reality. For a person, I'll tell you what, even for a person that's not a believer, that sits down in there and begins to watch that, it makes the Bible come to life in front of your eyes.
It sure does.
It was so good. So good.
And behind the Ark, we have a zoo called Arrow Ridge Zoo, and we have camel rides.
Yeah.
We have kangaroos. You can walk through with the kangaroos, and lots of other animals are there. And we're building a new petting zoo there this year too. It's going to be spectacular. Then up at the Creation Museum really is my favorite place, actually, because it's a more in-depth message of the Bible, and you walk through the whole Bible. And then we have a planetarium, and we have a 4D theater, and the beautiful botanic gardens and petting zoo outside as well. So there's so much at the Ark and the Creation Museum. And so just one more time, 150 different groups.
More than 150.
More than 150 different artists. And this will be the biggest Christian music festival, gospel music festival in the world. We have all sorts of different sorts of music. It's bluegrass and country and southern gospel and contemporary. And
I got to say about my friends, the Isaacs, they were...
did you hear a noise?
No, sir.
Oh, it
Was
you.
I talking?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, go
okay,
ahead.
I got
Go
it.
ahead.
I got it. So our friends, the Isaacs, they became a part of the Grand Ole Opry family. They were inducted into the Opry this year by Ricky Skaggs, the guy that's going to be here. So that was a great honor. That was a huge surprise for them. But as friends,
And they're going to be here.
They're going to be here.
Have you been inducted into that?
No, sir.
Okay.
I have not.
But at least the Isaacs have.
At least the Isaacs have. But the Oppas have not. I love you, man.
But something from every single genre of music, with people sharing their faith of how God has changed their life and how that they've gone out. I've watched Ricky Skaggs, I've watched Jimmy Fortune, I've watched Triumphant, I've watched the Hoppers, and when they sing about the Lord and share their testimonies, people relate to that, and it touches people's hearts and lives, and it's going to happen right here on 4040.
Okay, so plan to come. It's included with our Ark ticket.
Yes.
So if you come on any day to the Ark or the Creation Museum when the groups are at the Creation Museum, they're not every day at the Creation Museum, but they're every day here at the Ark.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday at the Creation Museum. And so it's included with your ticket, but you want to come more than one day.
Yes.
So look for
I'm
our
telling you.
bouncer tickets. That'll be launched in March on our websites at arkencounter.com, creationmuseum.org. 3-day bouncer ticket, but then the ultimate bouncer, which is 12 months, unlimited visits, including parking, to Ark Creation Museum. Then you can come as much as you want. Come in and out as much as you want. So gospel music, 40 days of
40 days.
gospelmusic.com. That's the website to go to, 40daysofgospelmusic.com, or go to arkencounter.com or creationmuseum.org or hoppers.
Here.
Yeah.
Hoppers.com.
AbrahamProductions.com, AbrahamProductions.net. You can go to the Singing News page. This event is the most talked about event of any Christian music events anywhere in the world. And last year, people left from here just talking about how much they were blessed. They're planning to come back. If you were not here, you don't know what you missed. You've got to be here this year. And like Ken said, there's no additional ticket charge to come to all of the concerts while you're here. They're absolutely free once you get into the park. It's amazing.
And great Bible teaching as well.
It is.
And evangelistic teaching.
Yes.
And people do get saved here.
Yes.
Like hundreds and hundreds, over 800.
And we're praying
last
for
year
Dean
that
this
we
year.
know of. Yeah.
Life-changing. Being right here next to these two is life-changing.
You know, I should be in the middle because I'm the ham.
over.
I should be the ham in the middle of this. There, I'm the ham in the middle of the sandwich. There we
You're the
are.
ham, all right.
So, with that, how about we end this?
Don't miss it. You've got to be here. Go and check it out now. We'll look forward to seeing you August 2nd through September the 10th.
Make sure.